Last month, there was a day where there was a great culling of the cable news herd, and on the CNN side, because yes, two people lost their jobs that day, but one has gone on to greener pastures and the other is Don Lemon, and CNN managed to find somebody to plug, his old spot, because he used to be primetime host, right, before he ended up on the same table with Kaitlan Collins, who is now going to be taking his old place on that ill-fated morning show, so what the hell's going to happen to that abomination? It doesn't really much matter. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, does it make a sound? And if a morning show on CNN does negative ratings, does anybody care when it's ultimately canceled? I think you get the point. But I also said something at the time, on the day when Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson lost their jobs at their respective outlets. Why would CNN get rid of Don Lemon? He's not very good. He's kind of ratings kryptonite. But the only time that CNN is relevant is when they do something cataclysmically stupid, and Don Lemon isn't short on hot takes. So getting rid of one of the few people that you have left that has name recognition doesn't really seem to make sense. So what do they end up doing? Promoting somebody who did a really terrible job with one event, and then thinks that that lack of charisma and that overall bitchy presentation is somehow going to be a boon in the primetime hour. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but hey, then again, I'm not running a cable news platform that is hemorrhaging money. Anyways, Kaitlan Collins promoted to prime time after hosting CNN Trump Town Hall. The CNN journalist who hosted a town hall with former President Donald Trump has scored a primetime slot, CNN executives said on May 17th. Kaitlan Collins will host a show at 9 p.m. Eastern in the middle of primetime, CNN executives said at Warner Brothers Discovery Upfront, an event with advertisers. Oh yeah, that's the upfronts and all that stuff. What else was announced? AEW's running a Saturday show, which, okay, cool, wonderful, fantastic. Saturday wrestling with all of the trimmings that makes it look as close to Monday Nitro as you could get without, trademark infringement that the Fed owns. Fucking wild. But anyways, in her new program, officially launching later this summer, Kaitlan will bring fresh reporting. She's the exact same clown that's out. She's indistinguishable as long as they put on long sleeve shirts from anybody else that's out there. Okay, she's got bushy arms, by the way. The fresh reporting that adds new perspective to the biggest stories of the day. You know what that means right there? She's just going to be another talking head who reads a teleprompter and goes, okay, and then now off to you, Anderson. The slot has been without a permanent host since CNN fired Chris Cuomo in late 2021. Oh, so was Don Lemon after Chris Cuomo? Or did Don Lemon take Chris Cuomo's spot temporarily until everything got reshuffled? Hilarious. Collins was praised by Chris Litch, CNN's new chairman. He's been there for like a year at this point in time. Can we drop the whole new moniker? In a memorandum to CNN staffers as he shared details on the move. Yeah, of course, you don't want to say, well, we couldn't find anybody else, so just fuck it. That bitch, you can just do the... She shows up on time, so fuck it. Give her the chair. It really doesn't much matter. It's the one that Don used to sit on, so it's got the plug on there, so there's only a small cohort of people, and Anderson's already got his chair, except for, it's just a bigger one. So, we got to work our way up. She's a smart and gifted journalist, Cap, who we've all seen hold lawmakers and newsmakers accountable. Where? Fucking where? Like, okay, cite your sources. She pushes politicians off their talking points. Not really, in a bitchy fashion, but okay. Gets real answers. And as everyone who's worked with her knows, breaks a lot of news. Fantastic. I'm grateful and excited for this opportunity. Collins said, yo, man, this couldn't be more fucking corporate if it tried. But yo, shout out to her. I look forward to at next year's upfronts, they're announcing her replacement. But on to the bigger story, because CNN's like just the most irrelevant fucking shit ever, because you take a look at their ratings, and yeah, outside of that one big Trump bump, haven't done fuck all in the aftermath. But on the flip side, cable news, autism, I guess. No, that's dyslexia. Sorry, different disease. Lol. A channel that just decided to commit the big self-oof. Fox, looks like they've found their replacement. And lo and behold, the only other guy with name recognition that's out there fills the spot. And somebody who proudly used to wear, still does, I do believe. I haven't watched his shit or anything like that. He's just been around forever. And he finally gets that primetime slot that he's ever been opining for. Sean Hannity. Fucking neocon incarnate. Holy man. Tell me Paul Ryan's not making all the decisions at Fox News without telling me Paul Ryan's making all of the fucking decisions at Fox News. Long-time Fox News host Sean Hannity. Yeah, that dude's been there. I think he probably, like, his first Fox News paycheck probably had a 19 at the beginning of it. So he's been there for fucking ever. Like, he's always had decent ratings, but he's never been the top dog. He's just been there, which is always somebody that you want to put out front. Or first and foremost, everybody else is leftovers. Oh, here's our guy to replace the only guy who used to get ratings in all of cable news. You go get him, kid. But I guess he can be the lead-in for Kaitlan Collins, who goes live right after Hannity will. Yeah, replacing the recently ousted Tucker Carlson at the 8 p.m. Eastern time slot as the network reconfigures its evening lineup. Well, who's going to take Hannity's old spot? And I'll be completely honest, I have no fucking idea when Hannity used to go live. It's like if I want basic bitch BoomerCon talking points, I'll just go and peruse what's on the front page of Daily Wire. Like, fuck off. The move comes as Fox News attempts to regain the trust of its viewers in the aftermath of Carlson's abrupt and unceremonious firing in April. According to the Drudge Report, Hannity for years appeared right after Carlson. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Oh, okay, cool. So Fox is making the shuffle because they don't want Hannity to compete against Collins, which... will reportedly be taking over the coveted 8 p.m. Eastern time slot. A source familiar with the matter informed the outlet that Fox new evening crew was advertised as its boldest and most fearless lineup ever. Holy are you having a fucking laugh? Joining Hannity in moving time slots are Jesse Waters, who currently hosts Jesse Waters Primetime at 7 p.m. Eastern, and Greg Gutfeld, who hosts the Gutfeld Talk Show. Yeah, at 11 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, it's supposed to be the conservative late-night talk show equivalent. It does well, and I remember Greg Gutfeld back when he used to host Red Eye when they actually had funny and relevant shit on Fox News, but that's been a long time coming. Nothing has been set in stone, however, as Fox News spokesperson told Mediaite no decision has been made in the new primetime lineup, and there's been multiple scenarios under consideration, but let's be completely honest, if this is what the leak is, chances are that's what it's going to be, because we still don't know for sure why the fuck Tucker left. Like, we know that he was fired, that he's going to be on Twitter, but we're starting to get a little bit more information as it just kind of sort of leaks out, okay? So Tucker Carlson has a non-compete clause with Fox. That makes sense. That's what I postulated at the beginning, and that's why I thought it's probably going to be a little while before he goes live anywhere. But then when he announced he's going to be going to Twitter, it's like, okay, he said that, yeah, he'd be going on Twitter because he likes the platform. He just didn't say anything about exclusivity. And then Elon Musk also chimed in and said, there's nothing exclusive, nothing set in stone. Tucker just has access to all of the same content creation tools as everybody else. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. So there's got to be more to this story. But yeah, with Fox, that lists the various networks he can't work for, but specifically allows him to post on his Twitter account. So that's a loophole that's in there. He can still use his own personal social media accounts, the Daily Wire down horrendously at this point in time. But he can go ahead, and go there. I'd imagine the other networks that are on there are the equivalent streaming services that are out there, and then the other news networks that are out there. That's why there's probably no announcement with Rumble yet, because they're probably just champing at the bit, going just, when can you sign, when can you sign, when can you sign, because they've been making all of those Gen Z signings. And you know what, hey man, Rumble has a base. Rumble has an audience. You still, even after the Tate signing, Tate's been awfully quiet lately, but Gideon, DJ Academics, and then more recently, the show that Kai Cenat, I think I'm saying that right. I don't watch Gen Z streamers because it's all fucking garbage mind rot shit. Oh cool, you're going to talk to an OnlyFans chick. Great, I used to listen to porn stars on O&A and they were just as vacuous. My, the times they sure have changed and you guys are so fucking relevant. Oh yes, Kai and iShowSpeed, another guy who I know, and he draws a lot of ratings on YouTube. Like, he gets 40 to 60,000 concurrent streamers, which is fantastic for him. I just don't know what he does, really. Because whenever I've seen clips of him, it just always looks like out of content fucking nonsense. But okay, cool. If people like it and they're going to do a show over on Rumble, I guess a new set of eyes that comes over, fantastic. But who are still the biggest shows that are on the platform? Dan Bongino and Steven Crowder. So Tucker Carlson slots are right in there specifically and if he has a specific goal of speaking truth for the stories that he's going to cover, it's a match made in heaven. It makes total fucking sense. So he can still post on Twitter for the time being. Doesn't mean that he can't multi-stream other places, just not right now. Okay, since Fox didn't see Twitter as a competitor, which, yeah, probably at the time that Tucker signed that non-compete clause, there was no video streaming on Twitter. Or if not, you could post clips that were, what, like 10 minutes long? Is that 5 minutes long? Some shit like that? But yeah, he is free to post content without violating his agreement. And that comes from Robert Barnes, of all people, which I trust. And Barnes has great takes on a bunch of stuff. The only thing recently that I think we deviate on is CEO Linda Macarena for Twitter, who's just a horrendous decision. But he was one of the guys who's like, well, she kind of likes base posts. And it's like, she likes, 1,100 other people on her Twitter account. So I'm not going to discount Barnes. He's that fucking guy when it comes to every topic that he knows about. Just we have a slight disagreement. That's all. But yeah, you have Amuse reporting on this. I have no personal knowledge of Tucker's contract, so I cannot corroborate this rumor. It seems the most likely, though, doesn't it? Because you know that he's going to have a non-compete clause for a certain amount of time. And then for him, a celebrity of his position to not have an exclusive deal with a platform, it begs the question, especially with PBD's very public $100 million offer that was out there that wasn't even considered, apparently. Like, they never had. If you listen to, it was one of the podcasts. Might have been the Michael Francis, Mike Tyson interview where he said he had no conversations with Tucker. I think it was. Had no conversations after that. He put out the public offer and didn't hear from his camp. So there's probably something in place on that. So this is a rumor from someone who has seen similar contracts and carve out for Twitter and has contacts Tucker and or his legal team. Yeah, that totally makes sense. And then right underneath of that as well, we have James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe with his O'Keefe Media Group, his Oh My God group, which is just great branding. Like, James O'Keefe is a fucking wizard when it comes to this stuff. Not like Robert Byrd, like a grand wizard, but no, just marketing genius, okay? Unlike his previous employer, Project Veritas, the place that he helped found, but, he didn't properly gatekeep the institutions, so they ended up kicking him out. Oopsie daisy. He's actually done a couple of things, like he's gone up to Dylan Mulvaney. I don't feel safe being in an elevator with you, but you don't seem to carry that same energy when you just barge into a women's bathroom and whip out your dick in order to piss in a stall. O'Keefe was there for that, and now he's also running a scoop from a Fox producer. This is a 7-minute long clip, and I'll link to everything as well, but I just want to play just a little bit of it here because I think it would be interesting to cover.
$4 million to settle that lawsuit.
Oh, that was with the Dominion company. What happened with that? Like,
they gave him money, and part of it, they say it wasn't part of it, but we're learning that Tucker getting fired was part of that.
Yeah, Tucker got fired because of the Dominion lawsuit. Couldn't afford him anymore? I don't think that's the case. Or perhaps because, you remember that Dominion lawsuit actually didn't go to court. This was a settlement agreement. So as somebody who is the biggest face that's out there, just put a scalp on the wall instead of taking it to trial, which I don't know, the discovery might have been a little bit too spicy for everybody. Figuring out how much influence, maybe the government has at Fox News. It didn't really want all of that. They just decided, okay, what are your terms? $780 million, and also Tucker's got to leave. It's like, oh, for Pete's sake. Okay, fine. Well, whatever. We're trying to move towards the center a little bit more and appeal to our neocon base. Yeah, we could do without, I guess. We'll survive. We'll survive because you're seeing that trotted out time and time again. Fox News thinks that we got a very bright future ahead of us. We survived getting rid of Bill O'Reilly. If you think Bill O'Reilly is equivalent to Tucker Carlson, you are completely fucking out of touch on things.
Getting fired was part of the Dominion lawsuit.
It's part of the settlement.
Yeah.
When it's corporate media and you're beholden to advertisers, right?
Well, it's either Pillow Guy or it's brought to you by Pfizer, right? It's like
it's big pharma.
Yeah,
which is crazy because we would do all this stuff about COVID vaccines, and we're getting money from Pfizer.
Well, yeah, of course, man. There's no ethics in cable news. There's no truth in cable news. It's all about fear mongering. It's all about rage baiting. And hey, man, I'm not surprised. You're probably not surprised either. We know their tactics. And then when I start to see that creep over into independent media, yeah, that's when I got to start to call this stuff out. So I wish nothing but the best for Tucker Carlson. Hopefully his show does gangbusters on Twitter, and wherever he has the opportunity to go after Twitter, then also, you know, try to spurn something off for media creation on this platform as well. It's just, you know, with that CEO that's there, it's going to be a little bit tough. And, oh yeah, Kaitlan Collins, enjoy your few months on the air, I guess. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.